Okay, so we're gonna try to roll NP5 Saber on JP. I have been very lucky. She has spooked me numerous times on my JP account, and I run it mostly like a free-to-play account. Again, occasionally I do have like a pack that I buy for a GSSR, but I try not to spend money on this if at all possible. Somehow, throughout GSSRs and spooking, I have managed to end up at NP4. So she doesn't get banners that often, and I told myself, I was like, man, I don't really want to roll on the last day of Valentine's, but we're gonna do it because this is my waifu. And yeah, it's JP, it's not my main account, but I want NP5 of Saber on both servers. I've already got I've already got 120 of her on JP. I'm gonna get her to 120 soon on NA. So at that point, I feel like we will have completed Saber. So we're gonna do this. This is gonna be the last time I'll ever get this opportunity, but I'm gonna try to grab her to NP5 here. And I am gonna go ahead and use one of the few paid quartz I actually have in my account to go ahead and try to luck sack right here, but I don't think that's gonna work. I can fix her. No, this isn't an I can fix her, chat. This is just I want her. Banner isn't about to end, is it? Because I've had my heart broken before resets. The banner, I believe, ends tomorrow morning, I think. But you don't have very long on this one. Like she literally is in the last rotation of Valentine servants. And that's why, like, I kind of hate that I am rolling here, because getting the craft essences for an event that's about to go away and never rerun is pretty oof, right? And I'm already done with the Valentine's event. I've been done. I can cook for her, right? Gamba, there was already a Gamba. And before we get another Saber banner for Melty Evo, yeah, you might, right? Like, it's not like she never gets them. They're just like, for some odd reason, a lot of the Saber banners happen at bad times for me where I'm like already trying to save. Like, by all rights, chat, I should be saving for what I know will be Annie 8 on JP, as well as like summer this year, but it is what it is. I try to always like save for vast periods of time on my JP account so I don't get baited to roll every new unit, and I try to like selectively roll units that I think are really like critical for chat to be able to see sometimes with this JP account, because that's the big reason why I play both servers. I play NA because I love the game. I play JP because I'm a content creator and I need to both like experience stuff for myself to be able to advise you guys, but also to be able to show things off for you guys for what's to come on NA. So that's why I largely play JP. Otherwise, I don't think I would play both servers. I would just play the one. Gad, you're doing the exact opposite of what he says as a true content creator. Wait, what do you mean the exact opposite of what he says? So you're rolling for Mordred, right? No. Wish I could play on JP. Need to fix virtualization on my PC. I mean, again, if you have an iPhone, it's not too bad. The hardest part, like I was telling someone the other day, is just getting the account set up. Once that's set up, it's pretty straightforward the rest of the way. Android, I know, still has like, you have to like do the workaround or whatever so that you can even be able to pay on that account. With Apple, I think you just have to do like a iTunes gift card for Japan or something like that. But at least that is like a known quantity and there hasn't been issues with it. Whereas like with Android, I know people have said that if they mess it up somehow, it just bricks that like Android account that they created. It won't brick your FGO account because you can transfer it as long as you have a transfer code. But yeah, it sounds like really just annoying and tedious at times. Shufu. Well, at least I'm getting servant coins for this. Chat, this is the real reason we're actually here, is just so I don't have to roll out my FP if we get enough servants. It's the one thing I really hate right now on JP is every single month, because I don't have enough servant coins, I have to roll out my FP to get more coins to make grails for grail casting. I have plenty of Grail targets, so I have like just, oh man, I want all the Grails I could possibly get. But yeah, if you have to sit there and roll out your FP, it's just super tedious. It takes a long time. It's really annoying. So it's something I'm hoping that they give us quality of life for in the future. It's one of the worst parts of playing the game, in my opinion. Just because it's like there's no entertainment value there. There's no enjoyment factor. It is just a tedious chore to do that. So again, those are our 10 tickets. I do still have 5 more, but I'm gonna hold off on that, and we'll actually just instead roll multis from here on out, because I like to roll multis when at all possible, so that I can at least get the benefit of the 11 spend. Cad, what CE should I get from Caldia Boys event? I went ahead and got the 5-star, was it the Knights of the Round one? I think that's Invuln Pierce, because it's like, again, Invuln Pierce is never a bad thing, and I believe it's all attack scaling. So it's just like, yeah, unless you're gonna get like MLB of it or something, it may not be the biggest of deals for you. But typically too, it's also a smart choice to get the 5-star out of it. That is a nice one. That is the fake Black Grail. So basically that's the Black Grail that only applies to berserkers. It's a nice CE. It's just like, I hate how restrictive that is, and for that to be as, again, I would 10 times rather that had been an actual Black Grail for my JP account, because my JP account needs Black Grails. So now I have 2 Black Grails after 4 years of playing on JP, and 1 berserker Black Grail now. So I'm like, oh great. Yeah, Invuln Pierce is great. You just, there's typically other options that you have for Invuln Pierce, but if you don't have one, that'd be the one I would go after. Is it the Argonauts one? Okay, maybe I got it mixed up then. Oh god, this song? Ha! I can't hear it, chat. You'll just have to skip it if you want. Wait, Ryder? I feel like this song summoned Astolfo right there. Also, yeah, oh, actually, that's not bad. That's my first Astolfo on JP. Also, that's not bad. What the hell are these rolls right now? At least I'm getting new stuff, chat. I can't really be angry about new stuff on my JP account, so. Like, Astolfo will get leveled up. I'll lure his charge skill. Like, again, 50% charger is one hell of a drug. He won't be dealing that much damage for me, but that's just because he's MP1. He's like 3 interludes. Yeah, it's like, I'm not disappointed at all in getting Astolfo. I just was like, I can't believe this song is playing, and then Astolfo shows up. Would have been better if he had been rolling for Saber Lancer. What? There you go, chat. Still, that I feel like I've actually thought about that one before too, that like, I'm surprised after all this time that I didn't have an Astolfo on JP, so now I finally got him. So that's that is certainly welcome. And then the last one here is again another Invuln Pierce and Arts Up CE there. So really nice to get both of those. So I am happy with that pull. Question, what is the name of the Ayaya song? One Winged Ayaya? Veni, veni, venias, ne memore facias, Ayaya. And that artwork? Yes, the artwork is fantastic. I highly recommend going and checking the artist out. It's a Fontia piece this time, which I don't normally use Fontia pieces for art of the day, but it's it was worthy of this stream. How many copies do we need for NP5? Just 1. I'm very lucky to have NP4 of Saber on JP. This is gonna suck because now my ass is broke. Assuming she doesn't show up right away here, which if she does, that's great. But have you watched the new episode of UBW Abridged? I was not aware there was a new one. I know like they're really slow to pump those out over time, but Yeah, no, I had no idea they had done another one. So I'll have to go find the time, but probably not till after tax season. I knew it a few days ago. Yeah. How long had it been since the prior one? I don't know. Any SQ might bail you out of the hole. It might, Myth. It's just like, God, another invuln Piercy. It might. There's just like, I don't like leaving things to chance when not all possible, especially when I know there's a pity system out there. Like, again, I hear time and time again where people tell me how shit the pity system is and that they'll never hit it. And chat literally, like, what was it, the first banner I rolled after the pity system came into the JP? My, again, mostly free to play run account hit pity because I save up a lot, and it was Bazette is who did it to me. And then it was like literally the next banner I rolled after that also hit pity. So my JP account doesn't roll very often, but when it does, I typically have enough to roll. And that's why I was just sitting there like, what the hell? How did this happen to me like twice in a row? Jeez, this is like the 10th Kiyohime. It happens. I hit pity on Muramasa. I wish, dude. Like, so NA had pity for Muramasa. JP didn't. I rolled over 900 quartz. Nice art. I rolled over 900 quartz on JP for Muramasa. Never got him. That was the second time my JP account prior to pity being released would have actually hit pity without, you know, having them. But that's because the way I play my JP account is like I said, I like to save for big banners and stuff like that. So oftentimes I'll know like, hey, New Year's is a big one. So if I'm not super tempted for anything, I will just save and save and save, have a decent chunk of quartz to roll out. And then, you know, that way I've got a reasonable chance. So the Muramasa rolls on JP really hurt. The only good thing I got out of those rolls was I did get a copy of Odysseus back then, which at the time I did not have a looping rider on that account, so it was really nice to have. But then again, after that they brought out Habitrot, so it's like basically if I hadn't rolled Odysseus, I would have only needed to go another 6 months. So Muramasa was on rate up for 3 days on JP. Yeah. Are you wailing for new Nero during arcade collab? Oh, are you assuming we're getting new Nero? We might, right? Like, I don't know. I think that's an interesting concept, though, of like, who will be the arcade collab unit? How many units will we get? Will we get anything else like costumes or something like that? What will the event be like, right? Like, will it be a PvP event, right? I've seen people throw out. I don't know, right? Like, it's a really interesting thing. I get the feeling that it's actually going to be a pretty story driven event, because for those of you guys that don't know, arcade has its own sort of like split off storyline, and I get the feeling they're going to merge it back. But we'll see. We'll just have to see what they do with it. And here was a 5-star welfare for arcade, so who knows, right? Yeah, and she could be a welfare for the event for us, right? So you might not even have to roll. Tiamat calling it, yeah, you could get a Tiamat in that regard or something like that, right? Where Tiamat is not possible in our timeline. Oh wait, she comes in from another timeline, right? That would be an easy way for them to make something like that possible. And like I said, to a degree, I can at least feel good that the arcade collab will either confirm, like, finally that you're not getting Tiamat, or that here you've gotten Tiamat, now we don't have to listen to people whine about wanting Tiamat constantly. So it's like one way or the other, we get our answer. And in that regard, I'm certainly like happy to have again, arcade as our collab this year. I know a lot of people were super disappointed because it's FGO collaborating with itself again, and I'm just like, yeah, but this is the one that everyone wanted it to be last year. Like, if you guys remember, they literally like showed off a campaign to celebrate the two during that announcement stream for the Golden Week collab, and everyone thought and got debated at first that it was gonna be arcade as the collab, and then they announced it was instead the Rio stuff, and everyone was kind of hyped that it was Rio, but they were like, you know, like, oh wait, it's not arcade. Okay, so I think this is one of those deals where now after the fact everyone would have probably preferred arcade, and it's certainly going to be nice to have it. Tsukihime collab. I was talking about that the other night, that I won't be surprised to see if they want to mix in stuff like Tsukihime, Strange Fake, Prototype as actual like story driven stuff rather than as a like collab in the future. Collab will be another labyrinth like Goku. Please no. Please no. As long as they do the like AP management better, I don't want to like have to click. Like Oku would have been fine if I didn't have to like click through like 3 parts in each room. That was my only issue with it in that regard. And I totally understand it. I think it's a really cool event, but after having played it several times now, I'm like, please no, I don't want to do that again. Give Arthur his time in the light too. Yeah, that would be another one I'd really like to see, Wolfie. I cannot fathom that they won't give him his time in the sun, because he is gonna be someone that I think is gonna be story critical at a point. But it's one of those deals where it's like, when are they gonna pull that trigger? Why? How? I don't know, right? So it's an interesting thing to me, but I do hope that they do it at some point. And I think when they do, that's probably when Arthur gets his long-awaited NP interlude or something like that. Watch them scream for a summer version right after. Oh, I guarantee you people are already gonna be screaming for like Summer Arcade this year, right? Are we rolling OG Saber? Yes. Make it another Monopoly board? Why, chat? Also, Pog? Another one of those 5 stars? End of service will happen when Arthur gets his NP interlude. I don't think FGO, like, chat, we've talked about like the content pacing issues and maybe the struggles that the devs have. FGO is nowhere close to any sort of end of service thing. It prints too much money, even in spite of all these issues, right? Like, even if you could say like, oh man, what if the like community began to die out and like the number of players began to dwindle, I still think it would have to go way further, like, because of just how much money it's still raking in. So even if that were to fall off, chat, that would just bring them back down to the level that like the majority of gacha games sit at. So because FGO still is like in the upper echelon of gacha games in terms of its profits and how much it can generate, and that gets proven all the time where it's like, oh, you know, we're slacking off, we have no good banner, and so like FGO is not making a lot of money, and then it's like FGO releases a new unit and it goes like right back up to number 1. So it's yeah, like every gacha game will slump a little bit in between stuff, and I think a lot of people are quick to compare FGO to newer gacha games, and they're like, well look, they're not slumping, and it's like, yeah, because they're new. People are still constantly rolling even when there's no like hot banner of the moment, right? So because you just have new players trying it out, you have new players basically spending money on the game. And that is maybe a concern for FGO. Like they got to do a better job of getting new blood in there. A lot of that's on marketing. A lot of that's on making the game enticing. You know, again, it's a 7-year-old game at this point, but they can do that. I don't think there's any big issue with that. It's basically, as they produce content, as they release hot new units, they'll pull people in. It's just right now they certainly are having their issues, and we hope that they straighten it out. Year 6 and 7 are major stall fest. Year 7's been pretty bad, and that's why I'm hoping like this year they get better. Again, now they're beyond Lost Belt 7, so let's hope that they streamline this somehow. But again, I think the biggest issue, and I've talked about this before, is just probably it's a hiring issue. So I hope they get enough people to actually be able to produce the content faster. All it takes is one popular unit. Yep. Yeah, again, like we all pointed to that with Nito Alter. They brought back a unit that's basically a fan favorite, and it freaking worked, right? Like that's really all they need, and I guarantee you they have plenty more units to come. So Genghis Khan will bring hype to FGO. I just want Genghis Khan, chat, to be like a absolutely like like almost like Mao Nobu. I want it to be like a mommy chat. I want it to have like, I want Genghis Khan to have just like a rockin' set of tits, right? I feel like that would be the best way that you could portray Genghis Khan. And then of course, like, she'd be really aggressive, right? Like, I hope Nito made a ton of money. She did. 5 weeks between LB 6.3 and Summer 6. Oh man. Yeah, I don't think we'll have that on an A. They'll probably smooth that out some. Kind of sucks that there isn't anything pushing them to be better though. I mean, there is, right? Like with Genshin and stuff like that. That's kind of like a big reason why I would say we got pity, is the pressure that some of the newer gacha games have put on FGO. But yeah, technically it's because it's such a popular IP, they can just keep going. I think they themselves though have still pressure to do right, because the problem with having a devoted like fan base for your IP is that the fans are rabid and they will hold you to it. So it's the reverse problem of, oh crap, we need to make people like our IP. Instead, everybody likes your IP and you need to not disappoint them. So it's damned if you do, damned if you don't though. And again, they can never please everybody, but yeah, certainly they're gonna get screamed at. And I'm sure, again, they just did the survey. You guys don't think they didn't get screamed at during the survey? How many of you guys gave them a glowing review and told them they didn't need to change anything in that survey? I'm sure you all had, you know, again, various gripes that you brought up or things that you wanted to see them change. Me, Giga Chat. Oh, Pog Chat. We got OK Scope. We got Wizard Marshall. It's the new HP scaling K Scope. Man, my rolls are all the wrong CE types now. It's okay. My JP account, while it struggles having black grails, my JP account has an MLB K scope and now 2 Wizard Marshals. So I'm still doing fine in that regard. What do you think will come out first, Cad? Fate Extra Remake or that new Fate Samurai game? Fate Samurai game, because it's being run by Koei Tecmo. And damn, chat, I think right now, if you look at anything, 1, we haven't heard anything out of Studio BB. 2, Koei Tecmo already produced a trailer. 3, Koei Tecmo has definitely shown that it can pump out games really fast with no quality assurance. So again, I actually like Koei Tecmo. I've played the Neo series. It's pretty nice. But yeah, they've been getting a lot of shit lately from Wild Hearts and Wolong. Still though, I think because they're a third-party studio, right? Like they're not affiliated with anything Type Moon. They'll probably just have a much more like set-in-stone process, and they'll probably pump out the game faster. Koei Tecmo has a few good games. Yeah. Wait, so that might be a Souls-like game? I believe the studio that does Dynasty Warriors is the one that's doing it, which has me a little bit concerned because I know people like Fate Extella, but I think for me personally, I don't want to see another Dynasty Warrior style Fate game. I like, if it is, just make it Fate Extella 3 or something, right? Like, I would hope that if they're gonna do a new Fate game, that it's a different genre. So we'll see though, because again, I think they've described it as like an action RPG, so it really just depends, right? But yeah, I believe the studio that's working on it is confirmed at this point to be the Dynasty Warrior studio. Old school Dynasty games are just fun carnage, right? Yeah, I think like the only issue I have with Extella in that regard is just that, like, because it's set in the like whole moon cell setting, the levels to me are very samey all the time. So while it is a fun game, I do get bored with them some. Spartan, thank you for the 52. Hot damn. Chat, can we get some love for Spartan? Cad, you only need 1 copy? Yep, only the one. We'll see if I get it. My JP account does not spend money, so like we've got, again, we started at like 400 quartz, we're down to like 200 now, so we'll see if I get it or not. I'm hoping. We've had some decent Cs though. CCC remake is the one I'm waiting for. Yeah. COD is my favorite action RPG. Oh, don't start with me on this, chat. There's so many games out there right now that call themselves an RPG that are not RPGs. They're just like an action adventure game with RPG mechanics, right? Like there's plenty that have taken experience bars, items with stats and stuff, and like put that stuff in their games, right? But to me, that doesn't necessarily make them an RPG yet. You have to have some of the hallmarks of actually being an RPG to be considered one. And I feel like if you're not giving the player any real choice, then you're not much of an RPG at that point. But it doesn't mean it's like a bad game. I feel like if you tell people that it's like, well, I don't feel like that's an RPG, it's almost like they get insulted. And I'm like, like, again, chat, to me, like something like Legend of Zelda is not an RPG. And people would be like, oh, but CAD. And I'd be like, it's not. It's an action adventure game. But that doesn't mean it's a bad game. Legend of Zelda series is like my favorite series of all time. So like, that's not me shitting on it. It's just me saying like, no, I think those two things are separate, right? Whoop, thank you for the follow. CAD simp harder. Nah, don't you tempt me, chat. I went ham on Aussie, maybe too ham. I see, you went whole hog on Aussie, right? You squeezed your hog into Aussie. I just want consistent translations. Yeah, honestly, I'm really surprised that that they haven't, like, it's taken them so long to even figure out to do anything like that. And finally, we're starting to see them translate some stuff to English, which is nice. But they need to do more. They need to do all of their stuff. But again, it probably is a money issue. It's probably a time issue. It's probably they have all their translators working on other shit like cough cough FGO. So I understand. But yeah, I am really surprised that they haven't like tried to tap into the Steam market more. They haven't like done translations for a lot of their VNs and stuff, because I think there's a lot they could gain from it. I'm going hog wild. Unlikely because those are both Capcom games, not Nintendo ones. Yeah, I mean, like, again, just because Koei Tecmo is making this and just because they've had like some recent flack, I don't think that's gonna mean that like the Samurai Remnant game is gonna be hard or bad or anything like that, right? Like, it just I'm sure, honestly, to a degree that like Type Moon is such a stickler for things that there's probably going to be some degree of like actual quality control on that, because like, you know, they're just not going to allow them to produce crap for it. But CAD does have player choice. You choose the AK-47 or the M16. Yeah, you're not wrong, right? But we all know that you choose neither of those things and you just run around with akimbo shotguns. It's not like Fate is unpopular in the world outside of Japan. You know, I've had people try to tell me that like Fate's not like super popular over here in the West, and I'm like, no, like in the anime community, you'd be hard pressed to find someone that doesn't know about Fate. Like, it is super popular. I think the biggest issue that people have is that one, you have some people trying to make like the entire Fate franchise sound way more convoluted than it actually is. Yes, there's some crazy shit that happens in Fate, but I think like the majority of the community, where like it would be disputed maybe where exactly to start, the majority of the community is gonna like fall under like one of 3 locations, so it's really not that bad. Like, people vastly overblow it, and ultimately you can start wherever the hell you want to start and have it be fine. But I think with regards to popularity, while Fate may be popular, the reason FGO is maybe not more popular over here in the West is because Fate has a good reputation, but FGO has kind of a bad one. One, it's a gacha game, and a lot of like Western gaming doesn't really like gacha games. 2, even then, you have sort of the issue of it being like, it's long been derided as having like really bad gacha rates and not having a good pity system and stuff. So it's accessible Fate content. Yeah, in that regard, you're definitely not wrong. You know what, chat? I'm actually glad that Shadow skipped that because none of you were using cat eye, which just makes me sad. I saw not a single cat eye on there. Rip almost everybody gambling. Yep. I won't play FGA. The gameplay, or sorry, FGO. The gameplay is so bad and old. Yeah. My favorite is always the FGO has old and dated content, and I'm just like, yeah. And then I bet the motherfucker goes out there and plays Yu-Gi-Oh, or goes over to Genshin and plays the card game in Genshin, or plays The Witcher and enjoys the fuck out of Gwent. And like you're sitting there and you're like, yeah, old. Okay. It's as old as you know, poker and chess and shit like that. FGO is not a card game. Yes, it is, Hera. You're just convinced yourself that it's not. I mean, like, there's certainly arguments to say that it's more than a card game, right? And I do agree with that. But it is. Like, there's a lot of simplistic aspects about FGO that make it pretty easy to understand. Just like it's easy to understand on a base level. It's hard to understand mechanically because there's no explained mechanics. Gold orbs, finally. Something maybe? Saber? Lancer? No. High Valks, okay. Actually, that might be NP5 of the Valks for me on JP. I'll have to see. I hate card games, can't stand them. Resumes playing Yu-Gi-Oh, right? To be fair, the stuff that goes up on Yu-Gi-Oh! Magic the Gathering is way more complex than FGO. No, it's not. There's plenty of complex shit in FGO. The problem is most people aren't even aware of the complex shit in FGO, right? Like, yeah, I think when it comes down to this, it's also because like you just have people making guides for you left and right. So that a lot of people just veg out, turn their brain off, and like take for granted all the stuff that they had to actually go look up at some point in time. It's almost like people have forgotten how much they had to learn how to play this game. But again, I'm not going to try to say that it's like the most complex thing in the world, right? But I'm also not going to give it a pass and say like, oh, FGO is so easy, everybody can do it. Because I've literally watched people just like struggle mightily with bosses, not be able to get through stuff, rage and like quit the game, right? Like, so trust me when I say this, that like, yeah, as easy as you think FGO is, there are plenty of people out there that struggle with this game. Get Valt? Yeah, we got pizza delivered. Yeah, FGO is complex. It's not even close to Yu-Gi-Oh. Look, fair, right? Like if you wanna insist that FGO is not as complex as Yu-Gi-Oh, fair. But if you call FGO not complex, I'm gonna laugh at you is the whole point, right? Like trying to somehow like denigrate FGO, just not gonna fly with me because again, chat, how many years have I covered this game and made content explaining the way this game works? Surely that content would not be successful if it wasn't necessary, right? Like, again, that's kind of my logic here. Is like, if this game is so easy, why do I have to make this content for people? It doesn't help that the majority of content is farming. True, I will agree with that. FGO is complicated enough. I have a friend that played for years and he struggles with tons of bosses in FGO. Yeah. No, chat. Okay. See, there you go, D-Slayer. So like now we've got another one. Guys, this isn't a dick measuring contest, okay? It's not about who's more complex. It's me sitting here defending FGO from people trying to say it's not complex. You're lying to yourself if you're saying that, right? Again, I don't care which one is the most complex card game in the world, right? You guys are still going on this. I'm just not even going to humor it anymore. Ultimate Evil, I need to combine Padoru in the Song That Never Ends and Ayaya. Yes, that would be evil, but at that point, I might skip it out. Where's Santa Nero welfare? Right. And it's funny though too, right, chat? Like, how many of you came out and started immediately trying to at me and be like, oh my god, but Cad, this is so much more complex than FGO, with your example of that game that you play. As you sit here unironically in FGO chat, also playing this game. It's almost like you have a type, chat. It's almost like you like to play these styles of game. You know what's harder? My will to cry. Yes, probably. Are you rolling on story? No, but I'm beginning to feel like it. Have you gotten any sabers? Not a single one. We've only had 2 gold units. It's been the Valks and Astolfo. This is the same BS as if it's not the best, it's trash, except for complexity, pretty much. That's all good, Ado. My type is every servant in the game. I see. Wait, no, that's definitely not true, Leah. I've certainly heard you complain about not liking certain units. Is basically pick 3 out of 5 every turn. That's why people pick on it. Yeah, so, and what's funny about that though, Wood, is pick 3 out of 5 every turn, except in X, Y, or Z situation. Also, most of the people in the game can't tell you how star allocations work. Most of the people in the game can't actually tell you how crit RNG works. It's like everybody just goes based off of like what they see in front of them, and nobody really understands it. And that's what I find hilarious, right? Like, again, in the majority of circumstances, you don't necessarily need to know how it works. You just need to be able to apply it. But there are some circumstances where knowing how something works absolutely bails you out and allows you to do something you weren't supposed to do in this game. And it's great. I have frequent situations like that. Every once in a blue moon, I'll get into like some sort of challenge scenario, either in story or a challenge quest itself, and I will sit there and I'll do something, and I'll have all of chat adding me, being like, Cad, why'd you do that? Cad, why didn't you do this? Blah, 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 blah. And then like the light bulb comes on with chat where I go like, no, this is what I was doing, and I explain it, and then they all go like, oh. Cad, if you could design the next Saberface, what would you create? Really? Oh, okay. If I can design the next Saberface, what would I create? Space Artoria. What kind of a question is that? You knew what I was going to answer. If you give me free reign, it's just going to be the next 20 Saberfaces are going to be Artoria, chat. Actually, that's not true. I would definitely mix and match. You're only looking for one more? Yeah, I'm at NP4. What's up, CZ? How's it going? Walter Summer, simple. I would definitely do a Walter Summer. That'd be pretty high on the list. Lartoria, but space. Cyber Lartoria. Yep. See, Faye's already getting more ideas. There you go. How's it going, Faye? Space Lartoria Moon Cancer. You know, I'm gonna be very interested to see if they ever do a Saberface Moon Cancer, what they do with it, right? Like, I can think of some possibilities, but I will still just be curious overall. What about Arcade getting Space Drake? Look, chat, allow me, okay? I know everybody likes to Onore Arcade. You don't have to anymore. We're getting the Arcade collab. Once that collab happens, there will now be an established link between the two, and they can just take anything from Arcade whenever they desire to. Will they? I don't know, right? But it does mean that at that point they don't necessarily have to have any sort of real big like padded excuse to do it. All right, chat. Last multi. This one's for all the marbles. So hopefully she shows up right here. Watch Artoria just be X from the future in the serververse. There's a lot of people that basically say that that double X basically is Artoria because she has twin Gominiad, right? But I wouldn't mind seeing another one. What about Carnival's Lion Saber? I'd love that. Goddess Rongo Miniad Pretender. If it's Goddess Rongo Miniad, but it's literally just Artoria pretending to be Goddess Rongo Miniad, sure. I've been over this time and time again that like people get the lore about Goddess Rongo Miniad so confused. How dare you all Honore Arcade if you damn well please. No, I know, but now instead of Honoreing Arcade, you should just be like, okay, bring it over. Chat, I once got into an argument with some people over like whether or not stuff was exclusive to Arcade. I had people insisting that things were Arcade exclusive stuff and mobile was never gonna get it. And that was a lie, because like one of the examples they used was Proto Merlin, and it's like what if it's Mordred? I just would cry, chat. Arcade exclusive Da Vinci Rider? Yeah, exactly, right? How about Sita? Sita might be the best argument that someone could make in that regard, because there's actual lore there, right? Like, so if they really wanted to, they could enforce that one. Chat, I don't think it's happening. I don't think it's happening right here. Actually, what would Mordred Lancer be like? That's a one that I've heard asked numerous times before. I'm not sure there's any eventuality in which she ever could be Lancer, right? Like, it'd be like asking like what's Mordred like with Excalibur, because like you would really have to fuck up the lore in order to get it into that scenario. I'm not gonna say that they couldn't, I'm just gonna say that they probably won't, right? Tickets and single pulls? Yep. Shielder Artoria. Shielder's probably the one class you'll never see a Saberface as, because Shielder is just literally mash, right? Like, and I've had people try to like say like, ooh, we're probably gonna get a Shielder again someday, and I'm like, no, I personally don't think you will, only because it'd be very difficult to make a Shielder and offer it up and have it be better than mash, because mash is totally free. Not only does everyone have her, but she doesn't cost anything party space wise. So unless that other Shielder were also 0 party cost or something like that, it would be a really rough comparison. So like, I'm not gonna say they couldn't get people to roll. There just would be no need for such a unit. And at that point in time, it would be it would basically be down to like the popularity of the character, right? Like, ooh, is it a hot waifu? Ooh, is it a like, super hot husbando or something like that? Like, if they could do one of those things, then yeah, they'll get people out of their or to pull out their wallets and actually roll. But I don't think there's like this big pressing need for more shielders, basically. Completely forgot about an appointment. No problem. All right, chat, that's the last ticket. What if they were a support? That'd be an interesting one. You could do something like that. Still though, like, what is the support? What are they doing at that point? Oh, that wasn't the last ticket. I'm sorry. Hold on. One more ticket, chat. You're bringing mash to farm. Yeah, I mean, the issue with shielders, they're neutral in every capacity. Like, they're neutral against every single type of unit. They're also neutral in taking damage. So it'd be what it'd be. All right. 4 more singles here. But I'm probably not going to spend every single quartz at this point. Just because, again, I don't like YOLOing when I can... Oof. That hurts. Because I was like, oh my god, it's a gold! And then, like, nope. Yeah, actually, in reality, these rolls, they have some decent CEs, but otherwise these rolls are not that good. We've gotten, that's what, our 3rd unit now, chat. So 3 units and like 400, almost 500 in terms of actual like currency spent. So like, yeah, not that great. Read a book. Why YOLO? All right. Yet it was nursery crime indeed. 480 when you finish this. Yep. Man, we just have not seen sabers at all. All right, chat, this one's the multi-spin. Don't worry, Cad, she'll spook you later this year. I mean, probably at some point, but again, this counts mostly free to play. I don't want to leave it to chance if I can help it. There's no 3-star saber you can roll here. Yeah, there's no 3-star female. So we're just not seeing any sabers. Ugh. I'm debating right now, chat. Free to play account, by the way, right? Like, how far from pity? Still pretty far. The little devil on the shoulder is real, isn't it, Cad? No, it's not that. It's more like, do I want to be patient? Do I want to wait? Or do I want to just go ahead and get her and be done with it? Basically, I don't really have the qualm about spending money here. It's more like me just trying to think about, like, where will she potentially get a banner if she gets one? How would I go about it? What are my other plans for stuff to roll on this year? James, thank you for the follow. iTunes gift cards on JP are actually cheaper. Still. That all too familiar ding, chat. My God, chat, I found more cards. The intrusive thoughts one. No, this is basically like me doing gacha bargaining with myself. I'll explain myself after if this works. If it doesn't, then I don't know what I'm gonna do. But we're gonna continue, chat. We're gonna continue. That's fast farming, of course. Really fast. It was under the couch, yeah. I found it in my mailbox, chat, even though we checked it before stream. Angry Mango wins again. You're not wrong, right? Lakshmi buy Spook, by the way. Yeah, you can get a 4-star Spook. You just can't get a 3-star. There is no 3-star or lower female saber. So because this is a Valentine's banner, they literally can't appear. Free to play, by the way. No, chat. I say I run my account like a free to play. I'm certainly not free to play on this account anymore, but I've often said I'm basically cheap to play, right? Like, for instance, this is the first pack I've bought this year, period, right? Actually, for the last pack I bought on my JP account, I think you have to go back to summer last year. And I justified that by saying, like, I didn't get Summer Scotty with my free-to-play quartz, and so I said it's probably a worthy investment for content creation to go ahead and grab her, right? And she's actually one of the only supports I've ever had to like pull out the wallet for on JP. I think the only other one besides her that I ever did was Merlin, and God, that tale is infamous at this point. Lancer again. Why JP? That being said, this is totally how I feel every time I roll. Yeah, I like, look, chat, I'm not gonna make excuses infinitely for myself, right? Like, I do want Saber, and that's where I'm just like, I don't care, right? Like, to a degree, if I get her, I get her. If I don't, I don't, right? But at the same time, when I'm sitting here already at NP4, I think my goal is to get her to NP5, and I'd rather that not interfere with like saving to roll any other unit. So at this point, it's like, yeah, if I have to pull out the wallet, I'm not that concerned about it. This is CAD being completionist more than it is like CAD needs NP5 Saber to make this account actually worthy of something, or make it like good, right? Like, nah, I don't need it to actually do anything. I just want it. You asked for a better servant rate. I did. I still want that better servant rate, right? Like, we are now 510 quartz deep, and we have gotten 4 servants, so we're still shy another 4-star basically for average. Cad, you didn't cook for her. This is the way. You are correct, Bob. I didn't. So this is a bad thing. Normally I always cook for Artoria. This time I didn't get to, just due to schedule, but I will cook and make it up to her if she wants to show up right now. So then again, I think at this point I'm pretty sure I've proven this one. I cooked, she can have my sandwich. I don't think that works. Order takeout, already did. No, the tradition, chat, is I normally cook if I'm ever going to summon a Artoria, and it's worked every time I've ever done it. In this case, because I get home basically like a little after 6:20, I go live by like 7. I just don't have the time. I basically have to do everything I have to do for the dogs. The dogs get you know, everything they normally get. They don't have any it's no skin off their back, right? But for me, I'm basically the one that ends up suffering from it. Share? I don't think sharing's a thing. Should roll story for all those story spooks. I mean, this is Valentine's banner. I don't know what you want, right? Like, you're literally, you've got like all the female units in here other than limiteds, right? Need to order BK. There's definitely quite a bit of stuff with like Saber having a Burger King crown and everything, but it'd be what it'd be. The dogs earn their keep by being cute in the dog cam for chat. Well, yes, but they're also cute for me. I like, you guys only get to experience them vicariously through Doge Cam. I get to, 1, have the pleasure of playing with them, and 2, the duty of unfortunately having to deal with them. For instance, today I had to get really angry at Nico. He just he keeps digging up the termite stations that I have in the backyard, and those things are filled with poison. So I have to like really get onto him, because it's like, it's for his own good, right? Like if he gets into that termite station and starts eating that, it's not gonna be a good thing. So I have to like let him know, like, no, you can't chew on that. And I've told him this several times before, and he keeps pulling it out and trying to do it. So today I basically had to be like, all right, no, you're going back inside. Like I basically had to punish him, and I don't like having to do that. I much rather like positively reinforce than negative, but sometimes you have to negatively reinforce stuff. Sometimes you have to like let a boundary exist and tell them like, look, no, I am not going to allow you to do this. Cad rage. Yeah, I mean, cad rage is literally a cad screaming at him, being like, no. So that's all it is. Getting all those cream butts, yeah, in that regard I don't mind. The duty of having to deal with their duty, yes. Damn, I remember when they gave you story locks here. There are like some story locks in the banner. I'm not sure about like all the low star story locks though. Let me know when we get a new Salter banner. It's been 4.5 years. Yeah. The banner with Arjuna Altar is pretty good. I managed to get some Betty and Castor Q coins. Nice. Yeah, like NA is gonna have it so much better for both of those units, because we've had coins, so like you'll have opportunities to roll. For instance, like if you guys roll Morgan Le Fay on that first banner, Castor Q's on it and you'll get coins. When that banner happened on JP, the coin system wasn't out yet, so no one on JP got coins for Castor Q in that regard. So definitely an issue. But okay, again, Castor Q's another one of those units though too, where he doesn't actually need the coins to be able to pop off. Thank you for sharing your pets with us on stream, by the way. It's been on my mind lately. Oh, no problem. Like I get people all the time in the comments that and again, for anyone watching on YouTube, don't feel like this is directed at you, but I get people all the time that come in and they're like, why are your dogs in a cage and stuff like that? And I'm like, well, for starters, a lot of that's because I can't keep an eye on them, and huskies are very destructive if like they're left unattended. If you train them properly, they won't necessarily be, right? Like, but I know Archer. Yo, Tomoe, I'll take that. She's grailed on my JP. That's fantastic. That's a good 4-star for me to get. But no, like they're fine being in the kennel. There's no issue with that. It's their like safe space. They love it. Again, you can see they're just lounging right now, sleeping, right? Like that's basically, they just treat stream time as more sleep time. So but they get plenty of exercise. They get out. They're super active. And they like, every time I take them into the vet too, the vets are always astonished at how fit they are. And they say like, oh, you must take them for walks all the time. And I'm like, no, I have a huge ass backyard and it's fenced in and they can just go hog wild in it. They just run and 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 run. They chase each other. They tackle each other. They wrestle each other. It's great. But yeah, like I don't really have to walk them all that often because they get plenty of exercise. But I get the feeling that people sometimes look at that and think that I'm like somehow being cruel to them or something like that. And I would never. I love my dogs too much to do anything like that. Saber class banner is a rate up for Salter. It's sad. Yeah, pretty much, right? Like that's, I think a lot of people will be hoping for that just as a potential way of, it's like, well, probably better than just rolling story banner, right? All right, chat, still depriving me. I was surprised when I saw that my Kashaku is NP5 because I was a new player and pulled on the guild banner last year, and now I'm really happy he's NP5. Oh, Kashaku's really strong, especially for a 3-star. Like, you could definitely have 5-star units that don't damage him, but he's he's really good, especially in that new buster system that NA is going to be getting here soon. Like I myself have used him to farm on my JP account where I only have like, I think like NP3 or something. Redeem a Doge pick. You see how happy Cad's Huskies are? Yes. Got my caster Q to NP5 with Cersei event better. Yeah. How does this 80% charge work? It's delayed. So basically the turn you press it on, it will happen after that. Like it'll happen at the end of that turn going into the next turn. So it's really nice because you can get it back. So you can basically have it happen on turns 2 and 3. And so as a result of that, like Caster Q just from that alone would be 160% charger, but he also has a 30% charge in his kit. So yeah, he's just broken. He's one of the highest charging units in the game at 220% basically over 3 turns. So really, really stupid. That's why I said, like, you don't even really need the coins. You don't need his mana loading. There's other ways around it. Ishtar, Buntori, etc. Wait, for what, Peanut? I was surprised at how good Nito Alter is. I mean, her damage isn't the best, but that kit's just solid. Like, it's just really nice. So it's like, and again, chat, outside of like 90++ content, damage is one of the easiest things to fix, right? Like, you just get good supports, good craft essences in your gold, even if you don't have super high NP levels. It's only been with 90++ content that we really start to see like your neutral loopers struggle, your lower NP level struggle, that sort of stuff. And it's because there's probably like 1 or 2 key units that are meant to handle the node, and if you don't have those units, then you begin to have issues. Don't want to have to buy this next pack, but I guess we're going to, chat. I like this is the sort of crap that just annoys me. Is having I hate spending money on my JP account. I truly like do not enjoy it. So it's one of those deals where I'm always like, don't make me. You're going all the way? I will go all the way if I have to. I just do not want to go all the way. Hold on, chat. This one won't take me nearly as long because the last one I had to switch iTunes accounts in order to do it. This time I don't. So, yeah, is this camel by camel? Which one of you redeemed camel by camel? Or sorry, not redeemed. I knew it. I knew it was camel by camel. Okay, that was really weird. It like gave me the pop-up. I hit OK. It played the sound. It didn't put the quartz in my account. I'll have to double check that. Okay, now it did. I'm glad I don't have to switch Android accounts. I just use my JP one. Yeah, in that regard, it's fine. I think Android, though, is definitely got a lot of hurdles to jump through now in order to make that work. And I still hear from people all the time that try to do it and they can't seem to get it. Again, I'm not an Android guy, though, so like I have no idea how difficult that process is and whether the people are just being you know, idiots, or maybe like it's just that fickle. I have no idea, right? Have a camel? I would rather have a saber. I should probably configure my Android to do that directly. Yeah. Well, I don't know, Maestro. If you're talking about your JP account, I might not change it. Like, because that's been one of the issues. People have said that if they like change it, it bricks their stuff. Getting my bank to approve the JP payments. I don't have that issue. So way back in the day, chat, again, actually on the original Artoria rolls, basically Apple locked my account, and I screamed at them so hard, because I think after a while they actually like sat there, they looked at it and they were like, oh, okay, this person's spending a lot of money. And they went like, okay, fine. Yeah, this isn't like any sort of safety issue. You are who you say you are. So we're just going to remove the lock on your account. Like, and like, there's no more restriction either. Hi, Tamamo Cat. So like my Apple account no longer has any issues in that regard. Now it's a Tamamo Cat. Yep. All over the place. Android is really easy. Just make a Google account while using a VPN on your browser. Sign into the account while using a VPN on your phone. Then you just need a PayPal or credit card that works with JP. That sounds awful and super convoluted. What the fuck? Like, chat, for reference, making a JP Apple account, while I don't remember the exact process, is literally just like, oh yeah, find the actual like JP Apple account page, make the account. That's it. That's all you have to do. It's like, there's none of this like VPN crap, which I understand why it's a thing. It's because of that new like region locking crap that they did. But it's like, God, I still, while I understand Android needing to crack down on that a little bit more, it feels like they just went ape shit with it. It feels like they went way too hard. You just need to follow the guide, yeah. Can confirm Apple JP is easy as fuck. Yep. Yeah, there's like I said, it was just an issue of like, I don't remember exactly, because like Apple has moved where that is. Like, you used to be able to do it like where you could just like log out of one account and then create a new account and then like choose what the region it was, and now you can no longer do that. Instead you have to like specifically set it up in the JP region. Once you do that, it's easy. There's no extra like hurdles or anything to jump through. That's why I never play on other servers. Too much of a hassle to swipe. It is in a lot of regards. I do find that like really dumb. I'm surprised a lot of these games don't just go like, hey, do you want to create an account with us? Okay, you've created an account. Which server would you like to play the game on? Right? Like, kind of like when you sign up for an MMO and you're like, all right, which server do you want to create your character on? Right? Like, I am surprised more gacha games haven't adopted that strategy. I miss the days of using my same Google Play account for both. It was so simple back then. Yeah. I hope at some point they finally like do an actual like PC client for this game. I think it would benefit so much because it would get just about everybody off the emulator at that point. Because it's just like, well, if you give us an actual official way to do it, then sure, right? I thought you had all NP5 sabers. I do on an A. And like there's two saber faces on an A that I don't have an NP5. And they're both gonna get finished this year. But I have all NP5 all Artorias on an A. I just the two that I don't have are Nero Bride and Murdered Rider. And Nero Bride's gonna get done here at Akihabara Explosion. Murdered Rider's gonna get done later in the year with the the campaign on the back end of Halloween there. It's the Apocrypha campaign that has these summer units on it. Will this pack hit pity? No, I believe it's next pack that does, as someone in chat said. Or like where one account gets you all servers. Yeah, that'd be really nice too. I think a lot of this, like a PC client being able to play different servers, like all this kind of just ties back to like, man, I wish we had an actual account system in the game where like you can log in. Because again, and this is the big one that I'm actually really surprised with. I am really surprised that with how scummy the marketplaces are, the online marketplaces for Google and Apple, and how much of a cut that they take. I am really surprised that a lot of these other games don't have like, here's our website, just pay for a quartz pack through that. And I know like some of that is red tape with the actual marketplaces themselves. I'm just surprised that. Why aren't you a black Grail? Ah! Oh god, yeah, it's like my JP account just needs the black Grails so much right now, and I just keep getting K scopes. It's kind of it's both bullshit and funny at the same time. I find surprising games don't have sites to sell packs, premium currency, etc. Well, this is what I've talked about before, is like if you imagine like say Apple takes 30% of a cut, right? And I know this is like what a lot of the like lawsuits are. Yeah, Epic Games tried, right? Like, so I know it's what a lot of it's about. Because like imagine if you have an $80 pack, right? And Apple takes 30% of that. Well, chat, imagine how much of a discount they could offer you. Like shit, chat, they could throw it up for like $70 even on their own website, and you would go get it, and they would just recoup. They'd lose 10%, right? Or like $10 of whatever percent that would be. That'd be a little bit more than 10%, right? They'd lose a little bit more than 10% to offer you that discount. But they would make more than that by not having to pay a third party. So I'm like, I'm really surprised that they don't do that. Yes, they would definitely have some extra costs, some extra overhead for like running servers for accounts and support and stuff like that. But I feel like they already have support systems in place. I feel like they already have staff that has to handle a lot of that stuff. So it would really just be the IT side of it, I would think. But again, I think a lot of that's probably tied up in the like actual like legal battles that are currently going on. And I do expect eventually it's just going to come down in favor of a little bit more of an open marketplace. Yeah, Apple did get slapped. I think they sued Epic for trying to go around their system. Epic countersued. The courts came down on both of them. And I think the way it currently sits right now is that, yes, Epic has to still pay Apple, but Apple cannot stop Epic, I believe, from offering the ability to purchase off marketplace or something like that. So, which has caused Apple to be like, no, right? Like, because that obviously has far-reaching ramifications for other apps. So they would make like 18% more, right? Yeah. So as long as their overhead costs didn't exceed that 18%, they would come out net positive in that regard. Apple lost that, I thought. It's it's a complex thing. It's not like it's as simple as just saying Apple lost, but of course be like you both bad kids, right? Yeah. Looks like Surf Mode will be with Semiramis, right? And I haven't rolled Semiramis on my NA account ever on purpose, because ever since that banner came out, I was like, oh shit, no, I'm just gonna wait for that. So I've had some people say like we might not get that banner, and I'm gonna tell you right now, you're gonna get that banner. It's summer units, chat. I guarantee you they're gonna give it to you. It's too much money to throw away. So they'll come up with any excuse, even if it's not Apocrypha, in order to give it to you. They'll just rebrand it. So everyone won and lost at the same time. Yeah, but I mean, like, with regards to me, I don't give two shits about Epic. Another Archer, please be Tomboy. Yes. Yes. You know, that might be NP5. I'll have to check. But yeah, it's like, I don't really care in the grand scheme of things how that one rolls out, so long as like it does sort of break up the monopoly that Apple has. Apple tries to claim it doesn't have a monopoly, and I'm just like, yeah, sure, there's all of like you and Android / Google. That's it. Like, yes, and there are multiple Android Google ones, but I'm like, I'm sorry, like you two are far and away the lion's share of all the market, and they absolutely set the price and set every trend going forward. So it's why there's so much of an industry standard of like 30% and everything. Speaking of Tomoe, I got my Tomoe Saber to 100 tonight. Nice. I'm still Tomoe-less. Oh no, you'll just have to roll her. It's the only way. I'm showing you how right now. I assume you are past 300 quartz. I am in fact past 300 quartz. So everyone that bet on positivity lost tonight. $780. Oh, is that all? Fucking fantastic. I don't want to think about how much I'm spending right now on my JP account. Another rider. Watch it be Astolfo again, chat. Oh, it's not. It's female Astolfo. I mean, Marie. What's up, my homies? Chat cheating. We need more believers. Yes. Watching pain just lets me know I'm not the only one. That's true. Cad, why you gotta do this to me? I just do. Marie is a cutie though. She is. Actually, like, God, ooh, chat. I hope we get the Little Red Riding Hood costume from Arcade. That would be great. That would be amazing. Because I'm still mad that Arcade got that. They just released the first two 1.5 chapters. The first two 1.5 chapters. Wait, sorry, for what? Cross. My brain off track now. Distracted by Marie in Red Riding Hood outfit. Oh, the videos. You're talking about the road to LB6? Cough, cough, countdown to LB6? The stream is making me feel so unlucky. Oh, don't worry about it, Grimble. This happens. Dad, I luck sack. Like, this is actually... Ooh, yeah, chat. This is my first non-luck sack this year. Hell yeah. Maybe 2023 has hope. Maybe it has hope, chat. Because so far, everything in 2023 has been awful. And I've been luck sacking, which is exactly what happened in 2020. And again, I've talked with people about this over and over again, that like every year I'm just luck sack incarnate is like the worst year on planet Earth. So thankfully, if I'm not going to be totally luck sack this year, there may be some good things that happen this year. Hope for shitter luck. Remember when he got Papa Pope John on his first multi? Exactly. He luck sacked the Pope, everyone forgot, right? Yeah, it's like, I'm not that surprised that this is happening, but I just, you know, obviously hope that this doesn't happen and always wish for a luck sack. I just stopped rolling, so I understand, because of the Van Gogh disaster. Yeah, I mean, I've had numerous like bad rolls in my time. As many times as I've luck sacked, I've rolled enough to also have like really fucking bad rolls. So, probably saw your Arthur rolls. I know. Sounds like the world needs Cad to hit pity. Pretty much. Good Cad year equal bad me year. Bad Cad year equal good me year. Yes, 100%. Chat again. Remember what 2020 was, right? 2020 was an election year. 2020 was also a fucking COVID year, right? Like, that's the year COVID had the massive outbreak, basically. So it's like, Oh God, like there's just so much crap that was bad that happened in 2020. So that was my best gacha year ever. I luck sacked everything that year. Like my worst roll was going a little over average for NP4 of Okitan. And then I got NP5 of Okitan from the GSSR that bailed that out. So like even my worst roll in 2020 still was a luck sack in the end. The world on fire year, right? It's like the lost year basically. So you're saying your luck is responsible for elections? No, I'm saying my luck causes terrible things to happen and people to go ape shit on each other. Right, chat? How deep am I now, by the way? 8, 10, 90 away. I'm probably just gonna buy another full pack. You get the most bang for your buck, and I'll just save for the GSSR this year. That's my mentality with these things. If I ever have to buy a pack early on JP, I just tell myself like, well, hopefully I get it, and I'll try to like just save the paid quartz for the GSSR. That way I don't have to buy a pack at anniversary and stuff like that. Too close to stop? Oh, 100%. 100% chat. I totally have no self-control here. That's absolutely like, again, right? Like this is what I've talked about with like a pity system. When you know you're going to get the unit, why not at that point, right? And that's why like pity can actually be scummy a little bit. It can actually get you to open up your wallet because you just know that you're going to do it. All right, hold on, chat. These rolls have lasted a long time, though. There we go. Snap 2. There it is, chat. Nice and fast. All right, so we'll have like 90 free quartz after this at least. Incoming double Artoria. Don't say that to me, chat. Don't say that to me. That's just gonna make me sad. All right. So let's see. Watch it happen where like I get her the multi before pity, right? Watch Cad get double Artoria because he uploaded a video about USOs. You're not wrong. That would be karmic feedback. Content? Oh, 100%. But you misspelled content. It's spelled KHA. But again, this is what happens. CAD tent? Yes. USO learning with CAD live, right? It's almost like I need to go back and edit the video and put that shit in if that's the case. Hold on, chat. I'm craning my neck because I'm staring at something very cultured right now on the other screen. CAD still having skill issues? Yes. That's the worst feeling. Don't do that to yourself. Hit pity properly. Oh no, chat. Y'all will see how I'll do this. I've done this enough times now that I know exactly how. You did have that USO image with Artoria on it? Yeah. Yep. Links or it doesn't exist? No, chat. It doesn't exist. You'll just have to accept that. It's for my eyes only. Oh, Mr. Trouble. Welcome, everyone. You're just in time to watch me hit pity on JP. How's it going, everybody? How was Phantom Brigade, Trubs? And for those of you guys that haven't followed my man, go follow Mr. Two Love Trouble. He's a fantastic content creator. Again, resident translator for Team Explosion. Knows all of the moon runes, all of the Japanese for you guys, and he does all of the JP live streams again for your pleasure. So if you guys haven't ever followed Mr. Two Love Trouble, definitely go do so. Nani, yeah, we're rolling Artoria here, and I finally just said fuck it, I'm pulling out the wallet, right? And we are now literally 60 quartz away from pity. So here goes the next to last multi. But again, welcome everybody. If you guys never met me before, my name is Khadroth. I stream weeknights FGO all the time. I'm always making guide content for the game. Always trying to keep you guys informed, trying to keep you guys appraised of what's going on. And again, Mr. True Love Trouble does that as well for the JP side, so you guys should be well familiar with that. But again, for any of my people, if you guys haven't checked him out, do so. He's a member of my stream team as well as a good buddy of mine. Also, we'll probably Trubs, I don't know if you're available this weekend, but you down for some more Sons of the Forest? Because we've been having some great times with that. Trying not to get Kelvin murdered, even though we abuse him. Pity things cray cray, yeah. That game looks fun. It is. It's great. I like, and I'm shocked at how good it is for such a like an early access game. Getting Kelvin murdered and eating some legs? Yes. Give me them toes, chat. You might have to stream early because I have to work to cover the FGO live stream Sunday. Ooh, okay. I mean, like, let me know what time you're thinking, Trubs, and I'll see what I can do. Hey, the problem is I probably have to work Saturday, but I might be able to do it. It just depends. Yeah, it's tax season. And the 15th is our first of the two major deadlines. Let's pull NP5 of a 5-star, and the 6 will give you the USO. Yeah, you only get a USO after you've gotten 5 copies. The 5th copy doesn't get you a USO. Actually, I probably should have clarified that a little bit better on the video that I just put out, but it is what it is. But yeah, JP does have a live stream Sunday. It is the Winterfest stream. They're probably going to announce Caldia boys for their end, so I would expect that to be a thing. Now, chat, this is the last multi. We're getting Artoria here, but why do a multi right now when I can just make this painful? Let's see if we can get Artoria before pity, chat. Cad, no? Yes. Singles, chat. We're fishing for sabers. So if she shows up anywhere before the final 11th spin, we know it wasn't pity, which is like monk a frickin' ass. Okay, I was like, is this gonna be John? Oh my god. Actually, I think I already have NP5 Stray on my JP account. I forget how, but I think it was whatever banner she was on, I managed to roll just enough to get NP5 for with a good servant rate. I was hoping for it. I would have lost my shit if that were John. You're about to laugh your ass off. Yeah, exactly. Like, so for those of you guys that don't know, again, John is someone that is just she has spooked me so much. It's ridiculous on both servers. Like, I think I have like NP4 for on JP. Like, it's really hilarious and stupid at the same time. Avenger would have been better, maybe. But yeah, chat, there's no reason to roll the multi here. You know you're getting the unit, so don't roll the multi, right? Do the singles, because you might save yourself some quartz. Stupid as that is. Did you do the paid single in the beginning? I did. So you're right. It would be the first spin of the multi spin, not the second. You are correct. Thank you for that. I did forget about that. This is also how to avoid a USO. That's true. Sure can. Yes, I am doing La Single, chat. Still getting that nice cream butt? Yeah, but at this point we've got so many of it that it just doesn't matter. Unless the 2 rolls a double, chat, that would be absolutely clip worthy if that were a thing. Like, that would probably end up being a just viral clip at that point because of the sheer craziness of those odds and the unlikeliness that would happen. You have got to be shitting me. One roll away. One roll. Oh, god damn it, man. This is Saber for me. Every time, it is always something ridiculous. It's never the simple, easy thing with her. I can't believe the fishing actually worked. At least it's not pity. You're not wrong, but I hate to say it, chat. I'm just gonna press that button right there. I'm just gonna do it anyways. Because it's a 2-for-1, right? So, but still, I just can't believe that. Did you know FGO added a fishing minigame, right? Like, are you trying to break up with me? Don't you want my spooks anymore? Yeah. Mission accomplished, pity avoided. Feels bad. What a pitiful multi there, right there as well. Not pity, I see that as an absolute win. I can't believe that. So again, we did the paid single at the beginning, so that's what threw it off. So instead of it being this that should have been the pity, it should have been this. So that's how we know we were 1 ahead of it. She literally showed up on the 988th roll, basically. So sorry, 989th roll because of the paid single, right? So like, holy crap, she was just literally one away from triggering it. And that's how Saber treats me all the time. She's done it to me before. Back when I originally rolled Artoria, some of my worst rolls back in the day, right? Like it was 1890 quartz just for NP1 of Artoria for me. And again, she's my waifu, right? Like she was the unit that I started playing FGO for. The first unit that showed up on that banner was about 500 quartz deep. I think it's about 570, somewhere around there. First unit that showed up on that banner, Saber. OG Saber. And I knew it too. I took it as an omen. She was basically, I was already that deep at that point, and I was like, oh man, she's telling me to buckle down. She's telling me to like to keep going. And sure enough, it was a long ride. So yeah. Did you YOLO solo before reset? No, not at all. So this is just literally one away, chat. I cannot believe it. But again, that is happy Valentine's to me. And interestingly enough, where I got my first copy of OG Saber ever was Valentine's Day on NA. The original Valentine's event, I had her show up, and I was actually rolling for Janu. I was not rolling for her. I actually skipped over her day because I knew she was permanent. I knew I was going to get her one way or the other eventually anyways. And at the time, I actually had Okita as an SSR Saber. So I said, okay, I don't necessarily need to roll for OG Saber. I'm going to go ahead and roll for John because she's a ruler. She's an extra class. She's not something I have. She's really tanky. So I rolled for John back in the day, and I pretty much went all the way the distance on that, where I ran out of the small amount of quartz that I did have. The last multi that I threw at that banner, literally the 9th spin of that last multi was Janu. And then while I was laughing and celebrating, the 10th spin went Rainbow Words and was Saber, and it was almost like Saber was chastising me for skipping over her day. So again, this is perfect sort of payback for her to make me go all the way to the distance and show up right before the end on Valentine's Day. I can only laugh at it. I'm not even angry. This is one of those deals where this is exactly what she does to me, and I just find it hilarious at this point. So again, thank you guys for being here for the rolls for this at least.